Now then, welcome back to another episode of Quantus on the FTOG server. Welcome back. Now, I am in my power plant office, as yet to be installed, as my face gets in your face. Hi. As yet to be installed as my office, but I have been playing around with some ideas, and here are my ideas. So today I want to just build my office and sort some things out. I've been playing around with Bibliocraft. We've now got Bibliocraft in the latest version of Bibliocraft in the latest version of Quantus, available on the Curse Voice launcher. And it's got very interesting things, Bibliocraft has always been one of my favourites. And there's always been the big book. The big writing book, which I've been using in many series before. I like having seats that you can actually sit in. Yes, I do. I like the lamps and the things and the bits and pieces, and I've assembled a few bits that I think we can set up today in the office. I only got one plant, though, because, surprisingly, right, a thing about potted plants and flowers and stuff, not enough mod makers put the ability to put their flowers into vanilla flower pots. I've noticed. Vanilla flowers only into flower pots. That makes no sense. Why not put all your flowers so it can go into a flower pot? Figure it out, mod makers. Figure it out. To start with, I want a desk in my office. I've got to have an office desk, and I've already done some chisel bits crafting. I've done a little bit of chisel bits crafting. Not quite all of it yet, though. And I've been toying with the idea and kind of working on the premise that I have a thing that should connect properly, please. Why are you not connect properly? These connect properly like that. The tables from Bibliocraft connect properly, which is awesome. They also spread out so you could have bigger areas connected like this as well, which is also very awesome. But that's not what I want today. And I've been toying with putting these bits... No, wait a minute, that's the wrong way around. How's that the wrong way around? How did I pick it up the wrong way around? When did I pick it up the wrong way around? Is that supposed to be that way around? Hold on. Yeah. It's supposed to be there. And then this one is supposed to be like this. Oh, wait a minute. That's... Oh, man. This has changed so much since I broke it down. I was playing around with just the basic shapes, and I wanted to finish it off with you today on a camera. But it's going all weird. So like that. Yeah, that's better. And then this one like that. Yes, okay. So I'm trying to tie this desk into these tables. That's the idea, is to try and tie it in. And to have one of these oak desks as part of it, right? So it's an oak desk, and I'm trying to make it look like an elegant, grand factory boss's desk, right? And this is as close as I've got so far. There is possibilities that you can put carpet onto, or underneath even, onto and underneath tables. And that's how the tables work in Bibliocraft, which is really awesome, and I really like it, but I can't do the same kind of layout design on that. And when I put it underneath a chair, it becomes a rug. Or when I put it underneath the table, should I say, it becomes a rug, which is not what we're after either. When I put it on top of the table there, it's not going to look right, is it? I thought about having this moving over here so we still have the little overhangs of the cloth, but again, the textures just don't line up right, do they? And that's not the fault of Bibliocraft, that's because I'm trying to do two things with my bits and pieces, and it's not working out like that. So then I thought, well, if I've got this desk like this, and I've got a little desk like that on the end of it, then maybe it needs to be just all oak. And I can just literally have nothing but an oak desk there, right? And then since then I've thought, well, maybe we could just put these underneath. This doesn't actually want to go underneath. I think we have to go with break that, put that underneath there, then add another table, then add that underneath there, and then we can make a like a seating area, or at least a little stand on the carpet, and address your master. Kind of bosses in the office type stuff. And then for a chair, oh man, chairs are awesome in Bibliocraft. There's so many different choices for chairs, but they all start with a basic stool, right? So you start by placing the basic stool, and you've got to place it so that you're facing where the back will go. So the back's going to be there, so I'm facing in that direction, yeah? And then there's loads of different seat backs that you can choose from. But these great big seat backs, there's the seat backs that are just little upright struts, there's full backs, there's backs with little things on the top, there's backs that are shorter, and there's backs that are the great big grand oak seat backs, which I really like. Lots of different crafting recipes for slightly different end results. But that is the factory boss's chair and desk style, isn't it? I also put one of these fancy lamps up here. Now, I left it up here, even though I've been playing around with where else it could go, because it gets very dark in here. I thought about putting it on the desk. That's not how it's supposed to go on a desk. I just made a mistake. Let's put it on a desk. There we go. But it looks very, very huge in comparison to the rest of the things, yeah? It looks too big when it's comparison to the things on the desk. Especially when this is Bibliocraft and this is Bibliocraft. When they're both from Bibliocraft. And you're sitting in here and you've got these little pent pots and the little candle, and that looks awesome. And then this great big stupid looking fancy lamp gets in the way and spoils the immersiveness of the scale. It even feels bigger than a chair, look. Who would have a lamp that big? Just feels too big, okay? And on the walls, it also works really well for spotlights and stuff in fancy builds, but in here, not so much. Hey, Stocker vid. Stocker is online with me at the minute. He's been regularly making it day again, so I'm guessing he's working outside. He's doing a grand job. And so the best place for this fancy lamp is probably in the middle of the room so that it can light the whole room and look like a ceiling fan light, or ceiling light should I say. And I don't like it that way round. Where's it gone? There it is. I like it this way round so that you're kind of looking through the lights towards the boss sitting in his chair. Yeah. I thought about adding some more chairs around here as well. We've got, I made a few more oak seats, and I was going to put some chairs on this side of the table. And then I thought, no, this factory boss is the kind that makes them come in and stand instead of sitting down. This is the factory boss worker. He works the people who work the factory. He's not meeting dignitaries and local businessmen. Nope, this is where he tells off the staff and overlooks the staff, watches them as they do their work in the factory. Yeah, that's my story anyway. That's the kind of office that I'm looking for anyway here. And then I thought, well, let's decorate it a little bit. So we've got a pendant that goes up over here like that. I quite like that pendant, just as a kind of, it's the colour scheme of my builds and things. The magenta build. It's a little bit like me, and it will match up nicely and give a little colour to the room, so I thought that'll do good, right? We got a little bell, a desk bell. I don't know why there's a desk bell in it, but the desk bell is fairly simple to make, so I thought I'd make one and see what it looks like, and I quite like it actually. So I've got one here next to my desk, so that I can go like, silence! Oh, bring me my coffee. I want a cucumber sandwich. Tell them to work late tonight for extra nothing money. Nothing money? That doesn't make sense, does it? Never mind. My role playing of the factory boss is not so great right now. Let me put. I can't put a plant pot on a block of chisel bit. Put a plant pot on there. I can't put a plant pot on there the same way. Put a plant pot on something. Well, I'd like to put a plant pot on something, but I guess I can't. I'll put the flower pot on something else in a minute, hopefully. What else? Now, yeah, there's other bits and pieces like bookcases and stuff, which I'm going to have to find a way of putting them somewhere. I know I want them, I just don't know where I want them to be. Obviously, I'll need this space down the side of the desk to be clear. So there's not much more I can do in that section of the room. So I've only really got this little section here. Some kind of like, I don't know, office shelving kind of thing, maybe. Let's see what we got. We got some bookshelves. Let's put 1, 2, 3 across. And that's then kind of like a place that you would see in an office, maybe. Can I put that on? No, I can't place that on there. Can I place a normal block? Let's go with normal blocks. Can I place a normal block? Like, I don't know, a block of dirt. Place a block of dirt. Put the flower pot on top of the block of dirt. Remove the block of dirt. And then, oh no, I can't. So if I can't place a flower pot on it, then I can't place a flower pot on it, can I? The flower pot ends up going on the floor, which is not so acceptable. And I can't place it on that unless it looks like that, which is not very acceptable either. What about if I did some chisel and bits cheaty chisel and bitsing? Let's see. Right, so we go copy that, right, and we can break it down, put that there, and then try and put the thing on the top. Better get this and this so that we can focus on putting that underneath instead. Oh, the pot still fell off. I tried to cheat it, but the pot still fell off. Okay, so I can't place a plant pot down. Fine, so be it. Oh, there is another way potentially of doing it. You can open up these things. Hold on, let's put these away. You can open up these things with a right click and then put that on. Is that what that does? Yeah, that's what that does. So, no, can't do that. Maybe put one in the back there, but then it doesn't really achieve anything because I put a little flower in it, and it's a bit boring still, isn't it? I'll do that for now, just to remind me to try and find something for it in the future. Maybe putting something just out on the balcony might be a thing. Or just having that little bit of flower in the corner. Why not? A little bit of extra colour. Why not? I feel like a typewriter. I was thinking of putting the typewriter on the desk. Like, put a typewriter on the desk so that he can do typing. I feel like that's still a good option. I don't think you can hear anything when you type. No, I don't think it does anything. It's just a very, very well worked high definition typewriter. I don't think it does anything, but it looks cool. And oh yeah, clock, of course. The oak clock. I kind of wanted that to go midway. It even has a little tick-tock. Tick-tock. It is awesome. Bibliocraft came up with a really cool design for that. A nice oak clock. There are many different clocks in here. Yeah, all the different wood varieties of clock are available in here as well. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I really like that. And there's no interaction with it. It just kind of tick-tocks, as a clock does. But having a clock inside my office space, when I'm sitting here, just calling, bring in the staff members that wish to be, wish to do overtime today. Overtime, there, yeah. Type it up and all that kind of stuff. It all looks fun. It all looks fun. And then get out. When I dismount my chair, I kind of jump up onto the desk, like, yay! It's time to finish work. What else we got? We've got this stockroom catalog. Right, this is funky. I don't know exactly how this works. I'm gonna shift click on a chest or something. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Whether you can you write in it yourself. It doesn't look like you write in it yourself. So I'm presuming that I have to use it like a location and inventory to be able to do it and use it. But it's not really relevant to anything I want to do. But I thought it would be a nice thing to have like on the desk in front of me, so that when I'm sitting down on the desk, I can access it. Can I access it? Can I access? I can't access it like the big book. Oh, I used to be able to access these things like the big book. Oh well, let's put it on the side of the desk instead then, as a thing that we can use some other time, maybe, if I figure out what use it is to me. I don't think it's got any use for me really. What else have I got? Oh, a map. Yes, I made a map, and I thought that the map would go on the opposite side to that. it is a map of my castle build so far. Just like a bit centered on this area that we're in, with the factory at the center of the entire castle keep area, the mountain. So that's cool. That's ready. And that adds a little bit more colour to the place as well. Already it's looking very decorative and colourful. I will use this place for some things sometimes, but not very often. And then there's this oak case. I think this oak case probably needs to go... I don't know, just put it there. It's kind of... It's a case with a display cabinet inside, right? It's a display case. You shift right click it to open it and shift right click it to close it with an empty hand. I don't think you can do it without the empty hand. No, you have to have an empty hand to shift right click to open it. And then I was going to put in something like you right click something into there and right click something out of there, and then shift right click with the empty hand to close it up, and it becomes in the display cabinet, which I think is awesome. It's like my first engineer's hammer is on display for me to be reminded of. I used to do work as well. Yep, I used to, before I ran the place. And then we've got these kind of bookshelves where we can put things in different places. So you can just kind of just place a few books around randomly in the order there, and it puts them in graphically displayed. And then there's these kind of books, which are the important books, which you can then throw in to different places as well, just to add a bit more detail. These actually will go in as stacks of books, just to like make the bookshelves look a little bit more colourful. And then there's this book in particular, which I just discovered is new in this update, or this version of Bibliocraft, where you can put something into there. So let's say I put in... Oh, I don't really want to put anything in. Let's just put a torch in there. Right, save the description as to light my way, and save that as the description. So now this book has a title, and when I put it into there, it has not got a title. I don't know, but you can store an item on a bookshelf. I thought that was pretty cool, right? So you can take an item and then you store it away inside the bookshelf. Now, if we go and create ourselves some glasses to be able to read the spines of books, then that particular book would have a title. That would have a title of Engineer's Manual. That would have a title of title. And then the books would just be books. Enchanted books read with their enchantments. You can also... I think you can also... Let's see, can I... Yeah, you can just take a book off a shelf and put a book on a shelf by shift right clicking the book off and shift clicking the book on. So you can kind of rearrange the order of the books to where you want them, or place books onto shelves quickly by just right clicking them on, which is another great feature of Bibliocraft I've really enjoyed over the years, especially in enchantment areas where I needed to store loads of enchanted books quickly. What else do I have in here? I've got some more bookcases, some more clipboard. Yeah, that's a good idea. The clipboard is an interesting thing. I like clipboards. I think I should put my clipboard on my desk somewhere. I don't know if it's going to look right going on the wall. I suppose that's not too bad, actually. The clipboard is essentially a note-keeping device, which is awesome. So we can write in like to-do list. Make a to-do list. And we can just kind of just put something in like finish power plant, right? And first off, we're gonna have diesel power without the E. Diesel power, and when it's done, you can tick it, or you can put a cross on it to say I don't want it. Tick it or put a cross on it. Like, it's so cool. So you can check off your to-do list, and of course the next time you open it, it's there. There's also multiple pages. You can make multiple pages of to-do lists and notes and stuff for your clipboard, so you can keep many different notes all in one place in the game and tick things as you've done them. so you don't have to have lots of notes lying around all over the place at home, which is something I tend to have all around my desk at home, is to have lots of things just kind of in piles that I don't necessarily look at the next time I'm in the game and trying to remember, what did I do last time? Where did I put that piece of paper? What did I do with it? And so instead you have an in-game clipboard that you can look at in-game and figure out what you want to do there. I really like. Now, what do you think of my office? I'm planning on doing more with Bibliocraft as we go, but I just thought I would show you these basic bits and pieces that I'm using in the office. There are some other applications to some things that we will be using in future episodes a bit later on. But for right now, I am going to sit in my chair and I'm going to ring my bell and call this episode to a close. And thank you all very, very much for watching today's episode of Boss Nemsun in Quantus on the FTOG server. Trying to figure out where to start with all the power generation that I want to do. And sitting here in this office with my clipboard, surrounded by the beauty of things that I have created in today's episode, I shall plot and scheme and figure out just exactly how I want to overdo and over-elaborate the use of power, instead of just making a load of furnace generators and sticking a load of coal in them, and that's it. Or solar panels on the roof, and that's it. I want to actually make some fabulous multi-block structures from immersive engineering, and I think there's Magnetic Craft has some really cool stuff as well. I want to do some cool stuff in a factory build. I could probably do power generation a lot cheaper when we get to the next era and we use environmental tech to make a big solar panel that just generates all the power I'll ever need. But I kind of want the build, even if I turn it off after this era and start using environmental tech solar panels, I want the build in the power plant, so we can look at a really cool looking power plant. None of this stuff in this office actually makes any sense that I need. I don't need any of this. It's for looks, and I'm sure you appreciate that it is just for looks, and we enjoy making things look nice in Minecraft. We enjoy keeping the immersive environment around us in Minecraft, and today was another episode of just that. So thank you all very, very much for watching today's episode. I will see you in the next episode of Quantus. Goodbye.